What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36 here on Radio Row. Normally we don't just start going right into it, but obviously on Radio Row you see a bunch of different people. And as you know, with our DIN Media Group, we put stories out there, and we like to make sure we connect the stories. So what we have right here is Shan Marman. If anybody remembers, I know he doesn't because he's hit a lot more important people than me. But I told you guys about we played Maryland, and when we did our breakdown, our genius offensive coordinator did not mention a guy by the last name of Merriman when he did all of those different things. And boy, did we find out who the hell he was really, really quick. But so story is, I tell him I ran the ball, fullback dive. Somehow you come off the side and you hit me, and the buckle's off the top of my chin strap. Like just evaporated. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like it just, I'm dead serious. Like you literally, that's why when I was like, that's I don't really get an opportunity to talk with people who hit me. And I'm like, and I tell people, they're like, what's the heart? I was like, to this day, I don't know what happened with that. Nobody's ever made those are up there. Yeah. Like, but those came off. So, but anyways, man, I appreciate you taking the time to come up, and obviously we won't take too much of your time, but what was it like in college? Like, what? Just real quick, how did you get to the University of Maryland? And your story. What brought you to play football in general?
Yeah, so I grew up in Prince George's County, Maryland.
Okay.
And actually, coincidentally, I played basketball first, and so I came through the same AAU program of Kevin Durant, Michael Beasley, like all of us. We came up playing basketball first. They kept going here, and I went, here. And so I ended up getting into football, man, because that was my passion. I remember, kind of showing up late to practice 3 days late for camp in high school. And coaches actually say, what do you want to do? And I was like, I just want to hit somebody. I don't care where y'all put me at. And that was always my attitude. And then, I actually committed to the University of Maryland my junior year. I'm verbally committed. And I was looking at Florida State. I was looking at Miami because I felt like I was more of a Florida boy to fit in to, the brand and the style of football that was down in Florida. But I committed to Maryland, man, and I never took another visit. And the rest is history. I got on the field, got the opportunity to play. And for me, man, be the highest drafted player at the University of Maryland at the time, and then Vernon Davis followed up the year after, man. It kind of set the tone for the athletes and the talent that came out of Maryland.
Yeah, man, definitely some talented squads there. Coach Freeze was a pretty good coach, especially from Maryland. I think you guys won did y'all win the ACC?
The year before I got there, when they played Florida in the Gator Bowl, the year before I got there. But I went to a Peach Bowl and then 2 Gator Bowls while I was there. Yeah.
All right. You go there, get drafted. What was that? What was the draft experience like in your NFL career? Explaining that for us.
It was kind of crazy, and I'll tell you why. Because they didn't know whether I was going to play defensive end or linebacker. I could have been a tweener or so forth. Also, I was anywhere in the top 15 picks. So when I was taking my visit, actually my family thought I was going to the Cowboys because Jerry Jones and Bill Parcells told me they wanted me there. They told me in the meeting. So half my family, who already were Cowboys fans anyway, was already had that Stitch Merriman jersey, the Cowboy hat ready to go, and they announced, and I ended up going to the Chargers. But they also told me that if I was a slide pass anywhere in the top 11, I would be 12. Right. So I knew I was going to go somewhere in the top 15. And man, like you get drafted anywhere that high. Leaving, I was 20 years old, when I left and got drafted. And so that whole experience, man, was crazy because I didn't want to go to the draft, and I didn't want that camera in my face and slide somewhere in the bottom of the first round and be there. So I stayed home, man, with my friends, family, and coaches.
All right, man. Well, cool, man. Well, outside of that, man, it was just fun. Again, have you there. I tell these guys these stories, and we had Trap J on last week, so obviously I know you played with him in San Diego, and as well as you probably played with Crow, with Marty too. So I've had them on. Those are some of my good friends still from teammates, and just like to be able to put the stories behind people to let them know that Florida State did, just so you can corroborate. Florida State did play Maryland. I ain't got CTE like that, right? Yeah. We did play you guys at Maryland. We thought we were going to win that game. Y'all upset us.
I tell you, man. I mean, Crow almost ruined that thing for us at the end by picking the ball off. And I say this, two of the craziest athletes I ever played with. One, Vernon Davis in college, and then Cromartie. And I'm talking about even post knee when he had the knee thing. Crazy athlete, fast, man. With just you watching him run in practice, you're like, this dude's just a different beast and with his capabilities. And I miss being around Trap because Trap never stopped talking.
Doesn't. Still like that.
Still like
Still
that.
like that.
He's still going. And Big Doc, Darnell,
Darnell.
that played actually from Maryland.
Yeah.
So I remember watching Big Doc growing up, man. So y'all always kept some dogs down there.
Definitely, man. But I appreciate you,
got
man.
it, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on.
Right.
Appreciate you.
No doubt. And you need this one
No,
sheet?
no,
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So
My dog, man. Thanks for having me on, bro.
no doubt, man. Appreciate Merriman taking that for me. He's got his not bare knuckle, excuse me. He has an MMA league that he started. That's gonna be they're gonna be having some fights. It's gonna be on TV. It's gonna be televised. So really, everybody on Radio Row is doing something different and stuff like that. But motherfucker's still intense. The motherfucker still look like he can play, guys. Like I couldn't block his ass right now. Ain't no way. Ain't happening right now. So, but anyways, for those who don't know, we didn't even get a see. Did Miles hit me up on the chat? My bad, Miles. Was the sound decent at least? Was it
good. It's still decent.
Okay.
It's still decent.
I didn't think about that. He had a real tight window, so I was like, but my man was literally right in fucking front of me. Like I went to go use the bathroom, and he was like, yeah, we can go right now. I'm like, right now? All right, cool. I didn't even get a chance to get my questions that I want to, but it might be somebody that we gotta go find a video. I gotta go find the video. Maybe while I'm doing this, I'm gonna go look for FSU versus Maryland. But for those who don't know, this is your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games B.S. I'm part of Den Media Group. Presented by AlphaMaleJacks.com. If you see that man, he's all jacked up right there. He definitely doesn't need any extra testosterone or anything like that, but he was definitely a ball player. And that was cool. That was a really cool opening segment. We got some more people lined up that we're gonna hopefully be able to get to. Hold on, I'm over here looking at these highlights, see if I can get this up. But if you can pull up the stuff, man. We're on the road to 6,000. And yes, people, we've seen that we've done a couple different just random lives today. This one's gonna be actually a full show. Miles actually has the script. We're gonna try to see what we can do tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be a really full day. Starting off with Sports Illustrated, doing a red carpet for the golf tournament for them. Here, then we're going to do the suite where I go get my gear and all this other kind of cool shit. Then we come up here and hopefully we'll be able to do this live. Miles, I don't know if you've heard or not, but we've got this rapper from out of Louisiana that we're supposed to be interviewing tomorrow. I think he's personally the greatest rapper in Louisiana. I like him way more than I like the other guys, but people will probably tell me that I'm crazy. Who do you think we got, Ralph?
It can't be Boosie.
You got it off the head, right out the
what?
Right out the head, right out the head. Boosie Badass is who's supposed to be coming up here, man. So that's going to be, it's going to be crazy, man. At least I'm hoping for that. So, but yeah, so I'm actually really pumped about that one. But as with all things kind of. Oh man, if we could have got Juvenile, boy, I don't even know what I would do with Juvie. But we're getting Boosie, and we'll see what goes with that. Yeah, you go. Thank you. But yeah, so Boosie's gonna be with us. We're gonna try to get that. But as you guys know, we got 5,000. We've had over 5,000. We're like 5,003 something now. So I think we're 690 away from 6,000 subs. Obviously, you guys know what happens when we get to 6,000 subs. The money comes. So there's gonna be a great opportunity to tell a friend to join the media group. So let's get this stuff here. It's one of the most alternative media channels. We're going to have all kinds of great Super Bowl content, all kinds of great other sports content as we try to grow the channel, though. We will not be giving $600 away. We will be giving a $500 gift. We'll be giving and then 2 other gifts. The second place winner will get $100. or however many likes we have on the show, whichever comes first, and then we'll give the amount of likes to the next person. So I don't know why people aren't tuning in more. I don't really give them. I'm gonna roll with the colors that I got because this is our month. So remember, if you would like, please consider becoming a member as well. You will see all of the stuff on the YouTube channel and on the Facebook and on the Twitter of what it's like to be an all-in member. My guy Steve, who came and did the cameraman work, is literally like right now. Some of you thirsty guys could have been one-on-one with Sheena right now, taking pictures of him and doing all those different things. But you don't have the bread and you don't want to become an all-in member. And I don't know what you got. I don't know what the hell's going on with you guys, but you should really, really consider it. It's really, really dope. We're doing some kind of gospel thing tonight. I'm not really, but T-Pain's going to be there. So I get in a room with Fahim, we'll get that. But basically this was opening night, NFL. We got, we asked Trent Williams who would win between him and a silverback gorilla. That answer will be on the Did Media Group YouTube here shortly. Got Kermit the Frog over there, aka the best quarterback in the NFL. He's there. Just a whole bunch of cool shit that we were able to accomplish there last night. We went to the Grand Prix. So funny to hear this one chick who's trying to sound like she was very sophisticated. She called it the Grand Prix, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not the way that you're supposed to pronounce it, but whatever. So, but on that note, what I need you guys to do is if you can go at BigGameJames_36, or once we get this out, what kind of questions would you like to ask Boosie? What are some Boosie badass questions? I know I'm gonna ask him about what it was like with two red bones kissing in the back seat. Like, what was his inspiration for that song? That must have been a hell of a night because much like him, I don't know about y'all, but that excited me. But he's but that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be a cool ass experience. Also, I just realized I didn't say one light skin joke when Shan Marman was there. That is called your body awareness, mental awareness of understanding the situation. I think the glasses made me a little bit more intelligent. Made some intelligent comments on that shit because, yeah, that motherfucker right there might break some light skin stereotypes. So, somebody who is acting very light skinned right now. Actually, we need to go ahead? We need to do our Black History intro. We got to do our Black History intro. I got to get this stripped, Miles. We got to put this in the brand thing so that people can actually see it. This has got to be this is the way we're opening every. Can somebody explain to me? And I saw Chris go off on him. But what the fuck is Kirk Herbstreit's problem, man? Like, what is really going on? Is everything okay at home, Kirk? Because right now you're really exhibiting low testosterone, high estrogen levels, like in everything that you're doing, man. Like, you are like really ruining your legacy, tarnishing it, and like are starting to really sound, and you're starting to be like a fucked up individual. And it's really, really throwing me off. And it's expanding to multiple things. So the first thing is that what happened is, and I'm gonna read my brother Chris Wispradich go off right here. Bro, you know damn well after Bama lost to Texas and before Jordan Travis was injured, you said on College Game Day that FSU football was debatable for being a top 4 team. But yet Washington won close games, never said they were a debatable. Stop, bro. You're going to hear it from us the rest of your career. You made your bed. Now lay in it. You can't get mad. Now you fed all the ammunition they need. Blame ESPN. Blame your fandom for Bama. Blame that you said some dumb shit. Don't blame FSU fans for calling you out on your BS statements. You're trying to pass the buck too hard. Own it. Time for you to say less. Now, what he did was, and I think we have somewhere on here we have Kirk's actual, if you go to Wonder Woman, Miles, her tweet, and she has the quote tweet, but if we go click on what Kirk Herbstreit actually said 3 days ago, and this is what really has the FSU fan base in an uproar. And one of my biggest problems is when men throw stones at hot hands. And Florida State fans literally were not coming for Kirk Herbstreit as a base. And he decided that it was on his heart and he just needed to say something. And he put out, no matter how hard this lunatic fringe portion of the FSU fan base tries, I refuse to hold this against the Noles and their real fans. Been a fan of the Noles team since the early days of Bobby Bowden in the early 80s. They will continue to respect that brand and its tradition for as long as I'm covering college football. See you in Ireland week 0. Now, what I would love you to do is set up a meet and greet, Kirk. If you really want to see the real fans, you should set up a meet and greet for the real fans to come see you. Because you know as well as I know, don't nobody give a fuck about none of that shit. Nobody cares about that. Nobody understands your position. Like, you are somebody that cannot let something go. And the only way that you will understand is if somebody physically imposes this upon you. So like you need to learn how to be quiet. Like, shut your mouth up. And that's where the quote tweet from Tanya Wonder Woman, if you can go click on that, Miles, one of the greatest cartoons that was ever invented, Boondocks. Basically, the fan base collectively wants to say these words to Kirk Herbstreit. If you got that the actual quote tweet, Miles. All right, I guess we don't have it. Oh, there we go.
This one, or are you talking about the?
No, go back to her tweet. So push back on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that audio right there.
Don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch. If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
And that's basically what everybody wants to say.
Out of my face, bitch.
To Kirk. Just the crazy part is that what I always continue to tell people is that if you really felt as strongly as you feel about what you said, stand on it. You said what you said. There's no need to keep going back and forth on this shit. All you're doing is checking up the apple cart. You're stepping on the ant bed, and then you're wondering why people are angry at you. Why people are like why people are threatening your dog. Like, because you just won't shut up. Like, luckily, these people ain't doxed your ass yet. Some of these people really are crazy and lunatic. Like, nah, Kirk don't need no damn hug. Kirk needs a swift kick in the nuts. That's what Kirk needs right now. But Josh Bennett, I don't have any information on the single game tickets as of right now. They keep that thing top secret. Hell, I'm trying to go. If I go, I'm going as a Gator Bowl committee representative. I'm not going as a anything else. But just the craziest thing is that Kirk is just you feel the need for validation from people who have told you that we will not give you any. You cannot give us an intelligent reason why you should get a pass. If your reason is that we weren't the best team, then you just need to stand on that and stop crying and complaining. Nobody's going to believe you. Nobody is going to come to your side. Nobody is going to come to your aid. Nobody from Florida State cares about what you have to say. But obviously you do, and you keep bringing up these things when nobody's even talked about it. Because, again, that's really weighing on your conscience. Now, you have this propensity to just need to be a voice, to need to be bigger than what you are, to need to be bigger than what the game is. Hell, you're so bad at this that you even got us agreeing with guys like Josh Pate. So while I'm going to read this thing from Danielle Kelly, Miles, you'll see it should say Sir Dibby Dukes, and there's got a cut up of Josh Pate and him saying something to why Florida State fans are mad. And that's the crazy part is only trolls genuinely don't understand why Florida State fans are mad. And right now, Kirk, that is what you're becoming, and that's why you're getting the vitriol that you're getting. You are no different than a rival troll at this point. That is basically what you have to a fan base. So not everybody. Some people like you. As I always say, remember this: Tupac cares if don't nobody else care. But to the Florida State fan base, nobody really truly gives a fuck about you or your opinion. You must remember that. But actually, now that you got it up there, Miles, go play Josh Pate and what he has to say and what he has to say about it. And you know it's bad when I'm agreeing with Josh Pate.
I've been targeted by these people, a fringe minority of them. I've been targeted by them. So it's not like I don't know what you're talking about. But could you please, just for a second, anyone out there who feels this way, could you please tell me how you'd handle this differently if it happened to your team? You just went undefeated in a Power 5 conference. You won the conference championship game. You did everything history has told you you have to do to be a playoff team. And then a group of people locked themselves in a room, didn't let you see their process. A bunch of high-profile media types in the interim seem to have targeted you and lobbied openly against you making the playoff. You don't make the playoff, and then everyone kind of tries to pile on you because you're outraged by it. And then your own conference is filing lawsuits against you because you're trying to get out of a dying conference, and it feels like a lot of chips are stacked against you. It feels like media is complicit. It feels like the college football bureaucracy is complicit. I have been accused of being complicit, although I'm not. I just shared opinions on what happened. But nevertheless, how would you respond? If you're a Louisville fan, if you're a Texas fan, all that stuff happened to you. How would you respond? There is no rational fan base. That's why they're called fans. I appreciate that about them. Even when they hate me, I appreciate that about them. You know what would suck? You know what would indicate a dying program? If they just kind of took it. If they said, oh, well, if FSU went in Eeyore mode and said, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Well, that's not them. Never has been them. That's what I appreciate about them. Now, I've been on the receiving end of a lot of the criticism and a lot of the animosity. So I know what they've been saying. I understood that report that came out the morning of the national championship game when I think it was Bill Hancock that said they've had to hire private security for some of the members of the playoff committee. Is that taking it overboard? Of course it is. Has there been a lot of ignorance spewed from some FSU folks? Yes. Yes. I mean, there's a very clear line in the sand you shouldn't cross. Most of them haven't. A few have. That's not indicative of how the entire fan base operates. So now that PSA is out of the way, it would be one thing if they didn't have reason to be upset. That's when I join you. I can't join you on that. I mean, Florida State folks got every reason in the world to be irate. Now, I told you when it happened, I told you I think that this is going to suck for a little while.
Yeah, so, and I don't even care. I don't care that you had to get extra security. If you'd just been transparent, you wouldn't have to have that thing. You knew when you made the decision, and what happened is this. Normally, you can kind of prepare the people for what's about to happen. You see it in the news all the time. When people are about to go to war, you start seeing pro and anti-war propaganda that gets put up. When you see things maybe going a certain way, you start seeing people trying to soften the blow or trying to soften the land so that it's not as hard. That's what they tried to do. They tried to prepare people for what was about to happen, and it still was not. And people just said no. And then when they said no, now you want to try to accuse them of being anti or them of being fanatics. But Daniel Kelly put, I'm not dealing with the trolls anymore. I will spell it out for you. No, FSU fans are not lunatics. No, FSU fans are not paranoid. You are just an idiot. The media person who decides to post these things and get everybody riled up again for clicks works for an organization that is part of the ACC GOR, Grant of Rights. At the same time, we are actively suing in a court of law to have it declared invalid. The same organization involved with the SEC, the same organization that Disney was even selling off parts of, had to lose an employee. The same organization that our Attorney General in an antitrust demand letter asked for conversations between them and the college football playoff. The same organization that has been that has the broadcasting rights to show the CFP show and voice their opinions. The same organization that is cited in Florida State's lawsuits against the ACC, which is separate, because our then commissioner decided he wanted to save his son's business, so he needed to involve ESPN, and ESPN agreed. The same organization that signed a multi-billion-dollar deal with the SEC without all of that baggage, and the same organization that was part of the GOR that couldn't even get the ACC network to launch, in part because of the dealings to the same commissioner's son's business. The same organization that does not want Fox Sports involved with football in the Southeast with us, the same organization that even the Big 12 had to issue cease and desist letters for, which you remember they had to basically tell people to stop trying to court different teams. That is all in court proceedings, by the way, which means it's all factual, not made up, not conspiracy theories. These are things that are actual facts. So if you're going to troll, come correct. Let's talk legal pleadings. If you can't, then don't. And that's from a lawyer. That's not from somebody pretending to be a lawyer. But the point is that when you continue to gaslighting is somebody trying to tell you it's all in your head when there is literal facts that show that it's not. You literally did something that had never been fucking done before. Like literally never been done before. Then you said it's because of quarterback play, which we saw some of the most abysmal quarterback play. In fact, the team that won didn't win because of the quarterback. They won because the running back was balling. And if that running back was balling, they started trying to use the quarterback and damn near lost the game. Which tells me that if Florida State was playing in that game, our defense could have controlled Michigan because Michigan could not throw the fucking ball. Now, Michigan want to run that ball down and shit. I wasn't really sold on our run game like that, but our offense, but the way our defense had been playing those past few weeks, and when you watch the way our defense has been playing, our top defensive guys have been playing in the bowl games, one would deduce that, hey man, this is some shit right now. This is why they are playing with some anger. But bigger than all of this, there comes this thing that Kirk Herbstreit has of this savior complex. I am bigger than the game myself. I am this guy. And here's where I think is going to, sometimes when the arrogance gets caught into so many different things, start fucking up. Now, with Kirk, how did Kirk Herbstreit fuck up? Kirk Herbstreit literally tried to convince a recruit to flip from another institution. Dylan Raiola, however you say his name, was committed to the University of Georgia. He decommitted from the University of Georgia at the last minute, committed to Nebraska. Alone of him just having an uncle that is on the Nebraska staff is enough for that young man to consider transferring. But when you actually have one of the most iconic names in college football weigh their influence on you, the time of saying that you don't have any influence over other people's decisions is stop it. Just stop it. We know you have influence over these decisions. We know you know what you're doing. The fact that you're trying to pretend like you don't know what you're doing it's insulting. It's kind of like the movie The Godfather. He says, I know you did it. You telling me you didn't do it insults my intelligence. And that would make me angry. But let's Miles, if you got that, if you look at the Rivals tweet, we have the dad, Dylan's dad, actually talking about his relationship with Kirk Herbstreit and how that came into him decommitting from the University of Georgia and going to Nebraska.
Rivals.
It'll be under that same Kirk Herbstreit thing. It just says Rivals.
Gotcha.
It's right up. It's right above the Dibby Dukes one.
Got
Yep, and if you click on the picture of the man, he's going to spill the beans. This is why I want to get Kirk Herbstreit on the stand. I know he's going to bring up one guy.
We'll say bring up one guy's name. His name's Kirk Herbstreit. When he saw the smoke about Dylan entertaining Nebraska, he was like, called me. He said, "Dude, is this true? He got to do it. You know, he got to do it." His affinity for Nebraska, for a guy like that to tell me and to get behind me. Like I knew he needed to do it, but I wasn't going to sit here and say you need to go change that place or be a part of the change at that place. So when Kirk told me that, I was like, man, this is. I've had people reach out, other coaches reach out to me and say, look, the place is special. Coach Rule is a special leader. We'll say bring up one guy's name. His name's Kirk Herbstreit. When he saw this.
So I can barely even hear that. I can barely hear it, but I got hold on, I got this actual reading. So with when he saw the smoke about Dylan entertaining Nebraska, he called me. Dominic Raiola's Dylan's dad. Dude, this is what Kirk said. Dude, is this true? He's got to do it. He's got to do it. Herbstreit's affinity for Nebraska, for a guy like that to tell me and get behind me, I knew that's what my son needed to do. But I wasn't going to sit here and say you need to change that place or be a part of the change of that place. Like when Kirk picked up that, somebody told Kirk to pick up that phone and encourage that guy, and that is literally using your influence. And I want to know why, because Kirk is an Ohio State guy. But he hasn't been an Ohio State guy for quite some time. Did somebody pay Kirk? You know, we always talk about this age of NIL and the kids are being influenced improperly. We talk about these things of the kids, what about this, what about that? Well, I mean, it really seems like, hold on. I'm trying to see something with this. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Breaking news. Clearwater Academy International, CAI, which they had one of the top offensive linemen this year that went on to USC. We actually have, I believe, Lucas Simmons, who's committed to Florida State, came out of this. The Clearwater Academy has a 16-year history of football from its beginning as a 6-man team in a 40-student high school to what it is today, a nationally known and ranked program that has sent 80 players to college programs, including some of the finest institutions in America, such as Stanford, Notre Dame, and Alabama. We never conceived that CAI could become the football powerhouse that it is today. The success of the program, given the odds that it had to overcome, is truly astounding. Head coach Jesse's determination and hard work has created growth and success far beyond anything that we ever imagined. Because of its unprecedented success, the program has outgrown Florida. The future requires us playing at a national level on par with some of the top sports academies in America. After an exhaustive attempt and despite looking at all possible options, we have come to the conclusion that we cannot devote the resources to operate on this national scale. Therefore, we are unable to pursue the football program going forward. Now, that's crazy to see a top program just dissolve just like that right now. I mean, some people are looking for football opponents right now. That's crazy. Really crazy. Uh-oh. I got invited to a party? Shoot. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, shoot. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I'm involved in this invite. Here in Vegas, when at the Super Bowl, when people invite you to things, they say, here's what I got. You got to make sure you're invited into that too, because you might not be invited. But my bad. Trying to multitask here. But basically, Kirk Herbstreit is a ho. Federal Jedi, yes, this is now. We're doing this now. But basically, ESPN, all this other shit, it's just one big conspiracy theory that's getting proven true more and more. Also, what happened, was it today or was it yesterday? Yeah, today's the 7th. Breaking news, Nick Saban is now going to be on College Football Game Day. Alongside hosts Reese Davis and Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, Desmond Howard, and Pat McAfee, we will now see Nick Saban. Like, okay, so ESPN didn't know that Nick Saban was on his victory lap or had some news that happened early in the season that was going to require him to have to take a step back from being a head football coach to where now they're going to pay this man to be able to go cover sports. I can't wait to hear Nick Saban's opinion, but come on, man. Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. At some point, just state the truth that, yo, we did this to you guys because we understood that this was going to be Nick Saban's last year. So deal with it. Like, don't lie to us. Just tell us the truth at this point. But I think that would be good. I think Nick Saban is more entertaining now than he ever was in his older age. He's not as also with this, more proof that college football is going back to its Pangea days. Huge media news, ESPN, Fox, and Warner Brothers are planning to launch a joint sports streaming service later this year. The move will place content from ESPN, TNT, and Fox Sports on a new standalone app. It will have significant ramifications for the future of TV sports. the platform does not have a name yet or a price. So, like, can we? Speaking of like Kirk not admitting it, can we admit as a family that maybe we didn't know what we were doing when we were saying say no to the cord or snip the cord? Like, are we ready to admit that maybe cable kept all the prices in check? Because like, I think I paid more now for outside of some of us who steal cable. I think I pay more now for the different streaming services than I ever paid when it was just cable. Like, we kind of need some help, man. I think we should be looking into some of this shit as we that I mean it's crazy in an ever-changing landscape. More things for people to bitch about. The National Labor and Review Board, and we talked about this briefly on Friday's show, rules that Dartmouth men's basketball players are now employees of Dartmouth and are allowed to go forward with an election to create a union, which basically means players are going to get paid, which is what should have probably happened before. All you people complain about name, image, and likeness. If players were getting paid, you wouldn't have as many complaints about name, image, and likeness because players would get a set salary. Right now, marketing deals are all over the place, but it's the next step in the inevitable, which is crazy. But if Dartmouth players are considered employees and they're under the NCAA, that means Florida State athletes are considered employees. That means other schools are considered employees, which now means there's more things that could happen. It's which means that I think the SEC and the ACC, the SEC and the Big Ten are all preparing because they know they're going to have to. The way this is going is you're going to have to pay student athletes. You're going to have to give them a piece of the bread. You're going to have to give them a chunk of what all's going on. So, yeah, I don't. It's wild. It's becoming more and more Wild Westish as we get into this. Going into the smaller schools, shout out to the HBCUs. Light on College Sports, Light on Sports on Twitter, brought up about Bethune-Cookman and former Florida State defensive coordinator Raymond Woody. Bethune-Cookman and their staff, according to 247, they have the number 8 high school recruiting class in FCS and the number 2 high school recruiting class in HBCU football behind Jackson State. And it's that's good because I was trying. I mean, they've recruited a lot of. They basically recruited every kid from Monarch High School. I tried to get my running back who just committed to Albany, who signed to Albany State. I was trying to get him to go to Bethune-Cookman or FAM, but I don't know. But this is a big deal. Everybody talks about Deion and Jackson State, but like to have a top 10 recruiting class in FCS is it's pretty fun. Charles Walker. Kirk eats his Snickers upside down to feel the veiny part. Y'all are wild. Y'all are wild. You wild for that. Jamal, you must have just watched my one of my shorts that Miles made that keeps going that gets picked up right now, I guess. Talking about how HBCUs could get out of the rut that they're in, but most people are full of shit. So what Jamal says is we need a group of these entertainers that claim to be for the people to come together and create something more beneficial for the people instead of pandering and the I'm gonna get mine mentality. If you've never read this book, I encourage everybody to read. It's called Animal Farm. And in Animal Farm, the animals kind of come together because they want to be basically from up under the reins of the humans. So the pigs, they come and they talk about how, the humans aren't doing this right and upright walkers and all the things that the humans are doing wrong. And they get all the animals together and they form a coup. and the pigs are the ones who take more of the power and more of the control. And so what ends up happening is the pigs end up doing everything that the humans did, and the animals feel like they're in no better place. And so I use that as an example because when most people get in a position of power, they do to everybody else under them what they do to everybody else what that was done to them. So I'm not like that. I like putting everybody on. I like being around people who put people on, but it's again right now, like the reality is I do what I do because it's hot and it's what I want to do. But we got 39 live views right now, as opposed to, and I'm an FSU guy. It should be the most watched FSU podcast should be those of former players, but it's not. And I have no beef with that. You watch what you like, but I know the shit entertaining because other people are into it. But the point is that if people supported people in the manner in which they think that they support people, the world would be a completely different place. It'd be a utopia. But the reality is most of us are, I got to get mine over you. So that's the wild part about a lot of different things. But football, we got a very violent football player on here at the beginning of the show. I love the violence that football consistently shows. And I love the fact that guys are going to get paid to be more violent. I actually speaking of violence, out here, you meet some of the most random people. The most friendly, you know who the most friendly people in the world are? And it's a little terrifying? White women. Old white women are some of the most friendly people. This old white lady came over to me, hugged me, talked me up, talked about Dana White, trying to introduce me to him. And she was just like, do you like UFC? And I told her, ma'am, I like violence. That's a good question. That does look like Little Boosie. That's not Little Boosie. That's the guy. Actually, that guy has this chain that I want, though. Fatal Jedi, at the beginning of the show, we had Shan Marman. We treated it like the baby song. We didn't give him no intro. We didn't do nothing. We just pushed go and then boom, we just started riding. Like, anybody remember how the baby used to, like, the soon as the baby song came on, like he was rapping. He didn't give you like no chance to feel the beat. Like he just started spitting. I love you, Miss Dolores. That's ain't nothing wrong. I love people. But like this lady came up to me and was just, she wasn't intimidated, she wasn't afraid, she wasn't nothing. And she was laughing I said this, I told her I love violence. I told her violence eases me. It puts me at peace. And she thought that was dope. But I say this to say is because I'm watching the violence of Braden Fiske, and it brings me ease. It makes me angry because, again, I believe he should have been awarded the opportunity to be able to play against whoever they pick, whether it be Alabama offensive line, whether it be Texas' offensive line, Washington's offensive line, or Michigan's offensive line. This would have been amazing. But watch this. And he actually laid off on that. Just the beauty in this violence. Look at what he does to this Louisville guard. There's no way he's supposed to. He actually went made a tackle on a screen in the Senior Bowl as well. This guy is just dope. So I put short on it. Was short. That short was on point. I've been saying that same thing coming from a footwear industry. You know what it's like in these exploitive. Man, Jamal, there's a dude who I watched him more and more, and I wanted to buy his shoes. I still follow him. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I buy expensive shoes, and his shoes are really expensive, high end, and it's a good quality shoe. But he's not. Sometimes the other part of it is, and if you go watch one of our lives earlier, I'm going to cut it up. But there's a beautiful young lady that came over here, and she was talking about how she's the first African American woman to be licensed with the NFL, and she was prepared though. And a lot of people say, why aren't you working with this person? I will say this: sometimes it's that we're just not prepared, that we don't have the infrastructure And when there's a lot of money on the line, it's not something I'm gonna give you and you go figure it out. Sometimes that's the case behind all of that. But yeah, we were definitely robbed, Miss Dolores. Fiske, man, is just that's an intimidating pilgrim. That is a pillaging pilgrim that we have right now that I hope is available in the second round, and I hope that the Jaguars select somebody like him. That'd be dope. But just so many guys made money the last couple of days here. Happy about it. Hope we continue to move forward and progress. I put am I involved in this invite? My guy said yes. I gotta call this dude. Sorry guys. But side note too, we're on Vegas, just random thoughts. Radio Row is very random, so you're gonna have to forgive me about that. I don't know shit about craps. And like I was out there playing craps with fake money. I'm pretty sure my strategy was terrible. But I think my last night if I don't go over my food budget, which I'm almost over my food budget already, I'm gonna go roll me some dice. But I'm trying to think what else we got. Oh, but what else we got here, man? Let's go to the next thing. Keeping it short, sweet. This might be the first time we've done a big Games BS in an hour in quite some time with more shit that we've ever talked about. Oh, since today is not, for those who don't know, it's been a lot of stuff. Like it's National Signing Day, right? National Signing Day doesn't mean anything anymore as much as it used to make. Because now early signing day is really the new National Signing Day. What they should do is just make this is more of a bigger deal to smaller schools. I mean, I think they could make it blow it up to where now we can still get small schools as much love as they earn and deserve. But I am so tired of these coaches getting on these social media apps and fucking and capping their ass off. J.R. Sandlin is the director of player personnel and recruiting at OU football. And these guys will come on here and say all these things that these guys need to do to recruit. And I'm going to be honest with you. I have my kid who's going to Albany State. I'm not telling you this as a guy. You guys can go through all of my years in media. Most of those years I've been coaching. I have never overhyped a kid. I think you can play or I don't think you can play. This kid got good grades. This kid led the state of Florida, highest division 4M in rushing, with half the carries that the other people got. He led the state in scoring. He went for over 100 yards and a touchdown in the state championship game against Miami Columbus, who has 5 guys on their defense in their front 7 going to Power 5 schools. We had 1 offensive lineman going to that's at Miami right now in Dare. This kid never been in trouble, plays multiple sports, does all these different things, and you know what he had? 2 fucking college offers. 2. All the production in the world, played multiple sports like they try to lie and tell these people to do, did a lot of great things, and it didn't work out for him. And this is why. They tell you this shit, but that's not what they want. They want football players. They want guys trained. They want guys who are running fast 40s. They want guys who are focused on the sport. They want guys to come to their junior days. They want guys to come this. They want guys to come to that. They do not want you playing multiple sports as much as they tell you. So this is bullshit. They tell you that, oh, if you have a highlight film and there's curse words on your highlight film, I'm not going to recruit you. Bullshit. He went to some camps this year, and it was already late in the process. And that's the problem. They're telling you to do something, but when you look at who they're recruiting, my guy Jamie got a bunch of highlight clips from 7-on-7 with real life cursing in it. And you know what? He's still a 5-star. Everybody's still gonna get my dog. Like, you're not going to turn away. Oklahoma just re-offered him when he opened up. But this guy says, recruits. A recruit sent me a link to a Google Drive. This Google Drive folder had an information sheet, his transcript with his test scores, his junior highlights, sophomore highlights, workout max footage, skills and drills workout footage, one-stop shop, brilliant idea. Putting this in your head that, oh, this is what you should do for your kids. This is organized. This is going to make this kid stand out. Shout out to my guy Quincy Avery, quarterback coach, one of the top quarterback coaches, second to Denny Thompson. Quincy just puts the truth. I just know he wasn't any good. I just know he wasn't any good. 0% chance I'm going through all them damn folders. This kid's a dweeb and moving on. And that's just the truth, man. Here's a guy who is literally, again, gaslighting you to believe that you should make it easier when his fucking job. Let me read his job description. I am the director of player personnel and recruiting. His job is to find talent and watch film and evaluate film. Hold on one second. Hello? I don't know who these people is that be just calling me randomly. But it's such bullshit. Like, they tell you, dress successful. Don't wear slides. And you guys have seen me wear Crocs everywhere. You see me wear high-end shoes too. But y'all know I'm gonna rock some goddamn Crocs. The problem is I'm so tired of us old heads trying to tell these kids to do some outdated, antiquated things. We're trying to tell these guys, like, it's kind of like when I used to, when baggy pants used to be the trend. You're dressing like a thug. And I told my mom, they killed MLK and Malcolm X in suits. Like, it don't matter. They call all the motherfuckers thugs. Like, it's like if in America, if we haven't learned anything in the last 15 to 20 years, the only thing America loves more than apple pie is a winner. You get results, you get to do what you want to do. My mother used to say, be so good that they cannot deny you. And bullshit will happen. And you can complain about it. You can dress it up any kind of way you want to. People are either going to support you or they're not going to support you. They're either going to recruit you or you're not going to recruit you. Your number one priority should be that once you get your opportunity, you never let people forget that they didn't support you when you was on top. So, yeah, I actually got to get me a new truck, but I love Griselda. I love my F-150. My F-150, I've had that bit for, oh shit. I got her in my 30th, so I've had her 10 years this year. And no real problems. That's crazy. This is the longest I've ever had a car. Or a truck, I should say. And she got over 250,000 miles on it. But stop letting these people fool you. If you've got a kid, that kid can't dribble and shoot, don't make them play basketball. If that kid ain't got no fast switch, don't put him in track. Put that kid in some training and let that kid do his thing. And I'm gonna end this one. You know, I love my pop culture talk. And in this day, it's very confusing for us men when it comes to women. And with VD coming up, Shout out to my boy Grant. Hopefully he's gonna get some girl, gonna get some good VD, have a good VD on BG. I would say that Miles, you go play the video and let's listen to this young lady, and we're gonna break this down, the logic down as we end the show, because it's a lot of anger for no reason.
This is a reminder that Ludacris is a villain. After dating his girlfriend Adoxy for a few years, Ludacris had a fling with an old high school friend named Tamika Fuller and got her pregnant. Fearing that news of this affair would ruin his relationship and public image, Luda allegedly begged Tamika to terminate the pregnancy. Well, after hearing the baby's heartbeat, Tamika decided she couldn't go through with it, and she had the baby knowing she would be a single mother. Ludacris was ordered to pay a couple of thousands of dollars per month in child support, and he didn't like this very much. So he quickly got married to Adoxy and petitioned the court for full custody of a child he had allegedly never seen. Apparently, he cited that his financial situation and two-parent home life was a better fit than the single mother low-income household Tamika could provide for the baby. So the court granted him full custody of a baby he barely knew and who was still nursing. So no matter how much Luda tries to rebrand as this nice family man, the North remembers how he snatched that baby from her mother and gave it to his new wife to raise so he wouldn't have to pay child support.
So a lot to unpack in this. The child support, like women tell you that a lot of times it's more than just the money, right? Even though there's things where they're saying, would you rather have a father, an involved father, or a father that wasn't involved that paid child support? Damn near every one of those women in those unofficial surveys said that they would rather have the bread. So what we have is a guy who literally told you, you had that baby, I don't want that baby. But she heard the heart, and she was on board until she heard the heartbeat. She had the baby when the father clearly said he didn't want that. So now, which is cool. I don't like abortion, so I'm cool with that. You got the baby now. But now it's not about, since you've now had that, and I said I didn't want nothing, you've literally taken the control out of me. Why pay a little bit of money when I could just pay all of the money and take care of everything? Like, now that kid doesn't have a desire. I don't need child support from you. I'll raise this kid over here. I'll go do this. But that's the problem is that you saw a lick, you saw an opportunity, and you didn't do this. And that's why we got to get out of this I got to get you mentality, guys. You're not going, if you're dealing with a certain type of guy, you're not going to win that battle. You're not going to win that battle. And what's crazy is, you know, there must have been some more things going to it because the court actually agreed with her. So, but like in that situation, I'm like, you're mad that a father took responsibility for his kid. He didn't want the kid, but now the kid's here. So, and again, your body, your choice. You made the choice to have the baby, but now that baby is our decision, and we had to go get a third party to say that that kid maybe would live in a better life with us. It's just what's supposed to be done. But I like what Till Dog said. He told her, "Move, bitch, get out the way." And the problem is now we have so many people who are trying to form opinions and get rich off of other people's lives that you truly don't care. You don't care about that kid. Pretend that you can't care enough. There's no way. There's not enough hours in a day to care about a kid that Ludacris is apparently raising. To care about Ludacris apparently wanting to raise his son, which is sad that it even comes down to that. But on that note, we're gonna try to give you guys more content tomorrow. Tomorrow, we should hopefully have Boosie Badass. So I'm hoping this happens. Hopefully, we'll have more than 43 people watch it. So tell a friend to tell a friend. We'll have other interviews. I think bar none. I'm gonna get up with bar none. B-Mac is all over the place. We were trying to get up today, but it didn't necessarily work out. We'll see who else is coming around. But tomorrow, again, we'll be on the red carpet. We'll be on a whole bunch of other different things. And I appreciate everybody coming in. The goal is to get to 6,000 subs as quick as possible. We'd love to be at 6,000 by the end of the month. You know, we'd love for everybody to consider becoming a color. which means you're a member, which means you pay $3.99 or higher. Different memberships have different levels and different perks. Appreciate you, appreciate you 229 for subscribing to the show. You know, you got to crawl before you walk. With those who subscribe to the show, all monies raised on the YouTube go toward our community engagement efforts, book bag drives, feeding the people, Christmas gifts. Again, that shit don't that shit gets expensive. Trust me. So we love giving back to the community. We love doing a bunch of the other different things, and we appreciate it. RJ, we just missed you. You missed the whole show, RJ. You would have loved the chicken wings here, RJ. There was some really well made chicken, and they had barbecue sauce. They had barbecue wings, so you would have loved that. So on that note, I appreciate you all for chopping it up with me. We will see you again. Just keep clicking the channel, keep clicking the likes, keep doing all these different things. We will see you guys tomorrow.